Your cow snorted and backed away from your best friend the moment they walked through the barn gate. You laughed it off and thought your cow was just being skittish. 3 months later, that person betrayed you in the worst way possible. Coincidence? Science says absolutely not. Your cow knew, and by the end of this article, you'll never ignore your cow's instincts again. Welcome to our channel, where we explore the extraordinary world of cattle, their intelligence, emotions, and ancient intuition. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button right now, because what you're about to learn will completely change the way you see your cow forever. Cattle are not just livestock, not just animals raised for milk, meat, or labor. They are highly social, emotionally complex creatures with incredible perception. They are living, breathing judges of character. They are emotional detectors. They are biological early warning systems that evolution has been fine-tuning for thousands of years, and most farmers have absolutely no idea just how powerful their minds and instincts really are. So let's break it all down, starting with ability number 8. Ability number 8. Cattle can identify a cruel person and refuse to trust them. Here's something that will make you think twice about anyone your cow avoids or acts uneasy around. A groundbreaking study conducted by animal behavior scientists and published in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science set out to answer a question farmers have wondered for generations. Can cattle actually judge a person's character based on how they treat others? The researchers designed a carefully controlled social experiment. A handler was struggling to open a heavy, sealed feed container while two unfamiliar people stood nearby. In one scenario, a person stepped forward calmly and helped the handler open the container. In another, the person stood completely still and did nothing. In the third scenario, the person acted impatient, refused to help, and even pushed the container away roughly. The cows watched every single moment of these interactions from a short distance. After each scenario, both people were instructed to slowly approach the cow and offer a small amount of feed or a gentle gesture of kindness. You might assume a hungry cow would accept food or attention from just about anyone, right? That's where the results became truly fascinating. The cows were far more willing to approach, accept feed, and remain calm around the person who had helped their handler. Most cows also remained neutral toward the passive bystander who did nothing. But when the person who had been unkind, unhelpful, and rough toward the handler approached, the cows immediately backed away, pinned their ears back, lowered their heads, or even snorted in warning. They wanted nothing to do with that person. Think about what that means. The cow had no personal history with that person. That person had never harmed or threatened the cow directly. But the cow carefully observed how that individual treated someone the cow trusted, its handler, and made a clear moral judgment. Cattle do not just react to how people treat them. They watch how people treat those they love and rely on. If someone is cruel, unkind, or unhelpful to their caregiver, cattle recognize that as a red flag, and they will not trust that person, ever. That's just ability number 8. Wait until you hear ability number 7. Ability number 7. Cattle can figure out when you're lying or being unreliable. A research team in Switzerland wanted to explore an even more revealing question. Can cattle detect dishonesty, inconsistency, and unreliability in humans? Not just cruelty or aggression, but the subtle act of being untrustworthy. What they discovered should make every farmer pay close attention to how they interact with their cattle. The experiment was designed simply but effectively. 2 feeding stations were set up in front of each cow. 1 contained fresh feed. The other was completely empty. First, a reliable person pointed directly to the station with food. The cow walked over, found the feed, and ate calmly. The cow learned this person could be trusted. Then, the same person pointed to the empty feeding station. The cow approached hopefully, found nothing, and returned to the starting area, showing signs of confusion and mild frustration. Here's where the study became truly eye-opening. On the third round, the same person once again pointed to the station that actually contained feed. If cattle were only driven by logic or food motivation, they would have followed the pointing gesture immediately. But that's not what happened. The vast majority of the cows refused to follow the instruction. They had recognized this person as inconsistent and untrustworthy. In just 1 or 2 acts of misleading behavior, that person had lost the cow's trust completely. Cattle do not give endless second chances. They are highly observant and remember how people act toward them. Once you have shown a cow that you are unreliable, dishonest, or inconsistent, that judgment is stored permanently in their memory. Cattle are far more intelligent than most people realize, and their sense of trust is not given lightly. Which brings us perfectly to ability number 6, and this one will touch you deeply. Ability number 6. Your cow will remember your scent for the rest of its life. Of all the incredible things cattle can do, this ability is one of the most emotionally powerful. A cow's sense of smell is estimated to be between 5,000 and 10,000 times more sensitive than a human's. But their olfactory ability is not just about detecting smells. It's about storing those scents, connecting them to emotions, and holding onto them forever. Scientific research has shown that when cattle pick up the scent of someone who has provided them with care, safety, and gentle treatment, the reward and emotional centers of their brains become highly active. This is the same kind of deep emotional response humans feel when they smell the scent of someone they love deeply. That is exactly what your cow experiences when it catches your scent after you've been away for hours or even days. There is strong evidence suggesting that the longer you are absent, the stronger the cow's emotional response becomes when you return. Your cow is not just excited because you've brought feed or opened the gate. Your cow is flooded with emotional memory. Every gentle touch, every calm voice, every moment of safety and comfort you have given them. All of these memories are triggered by a single breath of your unique scent. And here's the part that stays with you. If a handler or caregiver is gone for a very long time, or never comes back, cattle do not simply move on and forget. The absence of that familiar scent registers as a real, painful loss. Cattle grieve deeply, and much of that grief is tied to smell. They can remember the scent of someone they loved for years, even decades. So the next time your cow nuzzles your hand, presses its nose against your clothes, or sniffs you carefully when you come back, understand that something deeply meaningful is happening. Your cow is reaffirming the bond between you and reliving the trust and love you share. But smell is not the only sense cattle use to understand the world. Ability number 5 will completely change how you look at your cow's eyes. Ability number 5. Cattle can read human facial expressions and body tension for a long time. Many scientists believe that only humans and a few primates could truly interpret emotional expressions on a face. They thought animals simply reacted to movement or sound, not actual emotion. Then a team of animal behavior researchers in Germany designed an experiment that settled this debate for cattle. The study used images of human faces showing clear expressions: happiness, calmness, anger, and tension. The images were cropped so only parts of the face were visible, removing any extra clues. Some cattle were exposed to calm, friendly faces, while others saw images of tense, angry, or threatening faces. Without any training, cattle showed a natural, instinctive avoidance of faces that looked angry, tense, or hostile. They leaned away, pinned their ears, or turned their heads. When shown calm, relaxed, and kind faces, the cows remained relaxed, curious, and at ease. Later tests showed that cattle could also recognize consistent patterns in human posture and muscle tension. They can tell when someone is walking stiffly, holding their breath, or acting nervously, even if that person is smiling and speaking politely. Cattle do not need to be taught to fear anger or tension. They know it instinctively, born from thousands of years of living alongside humans and learning to read our emotional energy. Your cow has been watching your face and body your entire relationship. They know when you're stressed, tired, angry, or calm, long before you say a word. They understand far more than you could ever imagine. We are only halfway through, and things are about to get even more extraordinary. Ability number 4 involves a sense no human can ever replicate. Ability number 4. Cattle can smell your intentions and emotional chemistry before you speak. You could smile at someone, shake their hand, and act completely polite, but your cow would still sense that something is deeply wrong. How? Because your body releases chemical signals that you cannot control, and your cow is reading them in real time. When you feel uneasy, anxious, or threatened around someone, even if you hide it completely, your body changes. Stress hormones such as cortisol shift, adrenaline is released. The chemical composition of your sweat and skin gases changes subtly. To any human nearby, these changes are completely undetectable. To a cow, they are as clear as a warning sign. A cow's nose contains over 200 million olfactory receptors. Humans only have about 6 million. The part of a cow's brain that processes smell is proportionally over 30 times larger than that of a human. This is not a small difference. It is an entirely different way of experiencing the world. Researchers confirmed that cattle can detect changes in human neurochemistry through pheromones and skin odors. This means your cow may realize that a situation is dangerous, uncomfortable, or wrong before you even consciously feel it. There are many documented cases of cattle becoming agitated, aggressive, or extremely wary around people shortly before those people acted violently, dishonestly, or harmfully toward the handler. The cattle did not just react randomly. They smelled the shift in the person's emotional and physical chemistry and understood the danger. This works the other way too. Studies involving hundreds of farmers and handlers show that people who are calm, steady, and relaxed around cattle are far less likely to be charged, kicked, or threatened. People who are anxious, nervous, tense, or aggressive trigger immediate fear and defensiveness in cattle. Cattle do not listen to your words. They read your chemistry. So when your cow snorts, backs away, or pins its ears at someone you already feel uneasy about, pay close attention. You and your cow are sensing the same thing. You just use different tools. But the cow's sense of smell goes even deeper than judging people. Ability number 3 is genuinely life-changing. Ability number 3. Cattle can detect physical illness and stress in humans. This is not folklore. This is not an exaggeration. This is peer-reviewed science that shows cattle's incredible sensitivity to human health. Several research projects have tested whether cattle can detect changes in human breath, sweat, and skin that signal illness, high stress, or hormonal imbalance. Like dogs, cattle can smell volatile organic compounds produced by the body during physical stress, elevated cortisol, and even certain abnormal cell developments. While cattle are not yet widely trained as medical alert animals, early studies show they can consistently distinguish between samples from people under extreme stress and those who are calm and healthy. Cattle react differently to people who are unwell, fatigued, or in pain. They act more gently, stay closer, or show unusual calmness. For farmers who spend every day with their cattle, this means something powerful. Your cow can often tell when you're not feeling well before you even know it yourself. They can sense exhaustion, severe stress, and physical discomfort through your scent and body language. Your cow isn't just a farm animal. In many ways, it's a silent companion that watches over your well-being. Now we move to ability number 2, which explains why your cow likes some people instantly and distrusts others immediately. Ability number 2. Cattle can read body language with extraordinary precision. Anyone who spends time around cattle knows this. Cattle are masters of reading movement, posture, and energy. When two cows approach each other, one might stand loose, relaxed, and slow-moving, while another stands stiff, holds its head high, and stares intensely. You might not notice the difference right away, but your cow understands every detail before the interaction even begins. Animal behavior specialists confirm that cattle communicate through extremely subtle body signals: ear position, head height, muscle tension, tail movement, gait, and eye focus all carry powerful messages. A relaxed ear means safety, pinned ears mean anger or fear. A lowered head means caution. A stiff, rigid body means threat. These signals are ancient, instinctive, and processed instantly. Most importantly, cattle apply this same level of analysis to humans. If someone walks into the barn with tight shoulders, a quick, jerky stride, avoiding eye contact, or moving too fast, your cow immediately catalogs all of it. If someone says friendly words but moves in a threatening, rushed, or rough way, your cow believes the body language, not the words. A major study published in Animal Cognition confirmed that cattle integrate sight, sound, and smell simultaneously to judge a person's intent and emotional state. This is why cattle so often react strongly to people who seem nice on the surface but are tense, aggressive, or untrustworthy deep down. Every person who enters your barn is being silently evaluated. The result is stored in the cow's memory and updated every time that person returns. Cattle never forget how someone moves, acts, or feels. We've covered so much already, but we've saved the most important ability for last. Ability number 1 ties everything together and explains why you must always trust your cow's instincts. Ability number 1. Cattle can pick up on emotional energy, shaped by 10,000 years of evolution. Everything we've explored, judging character, detecting dishonesty, remembering scents, reading faces, smelling chemistry, reading body language, all comes from one fundamental truth. Cattle have been living and evolving alongside humans for at least 10,000 years. Over this immense stretch of history, the cattle that were best at reading human emotions, intentions, and energy were the ones that survived, thrived, and stayed close to people. They received protection, food, shelter, and care. Evolution over thousands of generations created an animal that is not just domesticated, but biologically wired to understand humans. No other livestock animal has this level of emotional attunement to people. Studies from universities in Europe and North America show that cattle respond to human tone of voice, gentle touch, and calm energy more deeply than almost any other domestic animal. They mirror human calmness, absorb stress, and reflect the emotions of the people they trust. If you are anxious, a bonded cow will often stand close to you, seeking to stabilize the energy. If you are calm and gentle, the cow will relax completely. These are not random behaviors. They're deeply intentional acts of emotional connection, shaped by millennia of shared life. So the next time your cow suddenly tenses up, backs away, pins its ears, or snorts at someone you barely know, ask yourself this: what does my cow know that I don't? Based on all the science we have today, the answer is almost always a great deal. If this article opened your eyes to how intelligent, sensitive, and intuitive cattle really are, subscribe to our channel. Welcome to our space, where we explore the extraordinary world of cattle. We explore the science, behavior, and emotional lives of cattle every week. Share this with every farmer and cattle owner you know, because everyone who works with cattle deserves to understand just how much their animals truly perceive. Leave a comment below telling us about a time your cow seemed to know something about a person before you did. We guarantee you have a story, and we want to hear it.